Good to have you along for this Monday, the 12th of December. You're on TSB, Talk Sport Business on Talk 100.3 with Lachlan Kitchen and Neil Odger. And Neil, it's just over a month to go until we start the International League T20. And so far, we've been able to be blessed by plenty of members of the Desert Vipers. We had the director of coaching, the mentor, Tom Moody. I would say he came into the studio, he barged into the studio mid-show and took over the program for about half an hour. And just last week, we spoke to the CEO, and it's great to be able to say that continuing on our association with the Desert Vipers, we are joined via Zoom this afternoon with the coach, James Foster. Thank you very much for being a part of TSB on this Monday.
Pleasure. Hi, boys. How are you?
Look, we're doing very well.
Well, absolutely. James, First up, tell us the situation back home. We heard it's been snowing a lot from last night.
Yes, I've woken up this morning to about 8 inches of snow, which is very unusual for England. Whilst it's been cold, it's finally chucked it down. So just been out with the kids, tobogganing down some slopes. The kids have had an absolute ball. So apologies if you can see me. I'm currently in my dressing room because we've got some building work going on as well. So I've moved up top. So those high heel shoes aren't actually mine. They're my wife's.
Yeah, sure. We'll believe you. We'll believe that when it really happens there. Jay, we'll do that when it happens, James. You must be looking forward to at least coming out here. Beautiful 27, 28 degrees today and coming out to the Dubai sunshine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great place to come and play cricket. Obviously, myself and my coaching team, we're looking forward to getting out there nice and early. We've got sort of a set of guys coming in a touch earlier, and then a few of the overseas players are coming from the Big Bash from Australia. Will be coming over a few days afterwards. So it's always good to get the sun on the back of this for sure. Just been out in the UAE and Abu Dhabi for the T10 and got a little bit of a flavour. Got a great opportunity to watch some of the UAE players.
Right.
We've now selected four for our squad. And the talent is strong, really strong. And in addition to that, the overseas players are world-class players. So it's going to be a very interesting tournament, some high-quality players on show. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, when you as a coach, have to look after a side which is a mix of various cultures, various talents, various people coming in from different countries. Their playing styles are different, their coaching styles are different, their ability to be coached is different. What do you write down in your books of notes when you prepare for something like this?
Yeah, it's a very good question. It's really just trying to, well, in my opinion, it's about trying to understand the players as quickly as you possibly can, and understanding their cultures. I mean, bearing in mind there could be some language challenges,
right?
But we're very lucky within our group. We've got a vast group of coaches who can be able to touch base with everyone. I personally touch base with all the players. So the language doesn't seem to be a problem, which is great. I mean, and also you generally find a lot of players a lot of coaches as well work with a lot of these players year after year in different types of competitions. There's so many franchise tournaments at the moment. But it's really just about gelling them as quick as you possibly can. We'll have anywhere between 7 and 5 days of training. And then when the tournament starts, it starts really, really quickly. We've got a lot of games in a small space of time. So it's a tough schedule, but it's also very important that you get not only the training and the matches right, but also the downtime, an opportunity to refresh and be nice and fresh for games physically as well as mentally.
Well, the first game for the Desert Vipers, it's the fourth match of the International League T20 happening on Sunday the 15th of Jan. You're taking on the Sharjah Warriors, and it went public just a couple of hours ago. Your captain is going to be Colin Munro, the left-hander. How hard was it what made you pick Colin to be the captain of the side?
Well, when I looked down the list of all our players, my gut was drawn towards Colin. I've not worked with Colin from a captain coach point of view before, but I've loved spending time with him during various tournaments, the PSL, CPL, T10, in 100 over in England. I've always enjoyed the conversations that I've had with him. And I know a lot of people respect Colin. And I feel like he's at the stage of his career where he's ready for this new challenge. It's a brand new franchise. I think Colin's about 36 years old. He has had captaincy experience, but I just love the way he approaches the game, and I think it will complement my style really, really well. And I think he has such huge respect within the game, and played in so many leagues and played with the majority of these players in our side. I think it's going to work really, really well.
You mentioned about that the equation that the coach has with a player. You've worked with him. That definitely goes a long way. But how important is it to be in sync with your captain as a coach, especially when it's a new franchise, people coming in, you guys haven't worked together before with most of them. How important is it to get your captain right from a coach's perspective?
Well, you want to, the relationship is very important, because you don't want two different messages. You don't want a coach saying one thing going in this direction and a captain saying the other way. So, we'll be spending a lot of time chatting, but I think our philosophies are quite similar in that respect. He's very attacking natured. So am I, in terms of how I like our team to play. I find that not giving people too much information is a good way to go. Yes, we'll try and be selective, but I'm a big believer in you wanting your players to be instinctive. We've got some of the best players in the world on our side, so you don't want to be telling them what to do all the time. You want to make sure that they're clear, they've got the backing of the captain and the coach. You're going out there to express your skills and your talent, and you take the game on. And I believe that we've got a great mix within our setup. And I feel the way that Colin sees the game, and also he's very decisive. Whenever I chat to him, he's very clear of how things need to be done. Yes, no doubt there'll be some conversations that myself and Colin will have, along with the other coaching group, where we might want to discuss something and bounce some ideas around. It's not always going to be we all agree on everything straight away, but I think our philosophies are very similar in that respect.
You mentioned how it is really quite a condensed schedule for the ILT20, but you don't even have a lot of the players in camp already. As you said, some are coming straight in from the BBL. How much of a challenge is it to bring players in halfway through a tournament that have never even played together or seen the jersey, and suddenly they've got to come straight into a new club in a new tournament? There's so many challenges there.
Well, yeah, there is. I mean, for this setup, everyone's going to be there for the start. It's just that some of the build up, some guys will be there for longer than others. But in franchise cricket, it's very normal. I know, if it was county cricket, if it was in soccer, whatever it might be, you might have months and months and months together before the tournament starts. It's very normal, so it won't take anyone by surprise. And then, like I said, it's about making sure that you're communicating with people very quickly. You're trying to gel people as quick as you can. We might find that some people might leave our group if they're called up for international honours. But again, that is very normal for what coaches and players expect. And it's a good thing when people get called up. Yes, you don't want your best players leaving, but if they do, it shows that they're playing really well and they're high quality players. And then potentially you might have to draft more players in. But again, I'll stress it's quite a normal environment in that.
Coaching at that level is completely different as compared to coaching a national side, because when you're working with, say, a national side or even an age group cricket side for the country, you work with them for the entire duration, probably a couple of seasons together. Here you come in, deliver in like put your strategies out like 5 days before the tournament and expect everyone to be on the ball. How does a coach prepare for something like this?
Yeah, look, I mean, we've been doing a lot of training and strategizing already from behind the scenes, getting a lot of stuff in place. So therefore, when we all come together, we can go quite quickly on that. But in terms of a coach and player relationship, it's about trying to spend as much quality time as you possibly can with them. And ultimately, it's about role clarity. Yep. Whichever 11 that you... I mean, there'll be disappointments, 100%. You can have some top quality players on the bench. That is just the nature of the beast. But it's about role clarity and them being aware how you'd like them to fit into your bowling and batting lineup. And you generally try and base that through your selections in your squad anyway. So you very rarely will you ask someone to play a role which they've never done before. So that's part of your strategizing and where you're going to line people up. And then you're going to go out there, make sure they're nice and clear, and go on and take the game on.
It's always a challenge to come into a brand new tournament when you're in a place like the UAE, where there's so many expats and you're not really aligned to a certain city or a certain region, where instantly, if it's new competition and your team's based in Liverpool fans are going to face you. How hard do you think it is to really come up against, this huge cricket market here that we're trying to win over, but you've also got to try and play an attractive brand of cricket to try and also win over fans at the same time?
Yeah, and just throw another little one in the mix. There's a lot of cricket going on, franchise cricket in the UAE over the last few years. So
there's a lot of
been various
fatigue
other
for it,
formats. Yeah, so it's a brand new tournament, so that will take a little bit of time. Would be my guessing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough to get and suddenly just expect a huge following straight away. But then that's part of the strategizing for your marketing team, all the people in the different part of our setup than on the coaching side. We'll be working very hard and building up that fan base for sure.
Of all the places that you would have gone out to coach, play, UAE has a lot of opportunities for extracurricular activities. You've penned down some of those in your strategy book too, James?
I think he's talking about boat. Are you talking about boat parties?
Brunches, boat parties,
yacht parties, the whole thing.
Absolutely. All rock and roll. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, even when Tom Moody came in, he said, "Look, if you guys can organise one, we'll be there." But maybe he's not one who's required to front up and do the beep tests or the sprints or whatever you've got to do. Look, James, we do appreciate your time at this late stage, coming in before the tournament. Thank you very much for making the time to join us from your dressing room behind. It's either that or you're in witness protection. I don't know which one it is at this stage. But we do appreciate it, and good luck on that first match coming up on the 15th of January up against the Sharjah Warriors.
Thank you, boys. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot. There's James Foster, the coach of the Desert Vipers. The announcement came through today that Colin Munro is going to be the captain. We didn't pick Colin. We were thinking it was Hasaranga or Alex Hale who's going to be locked in.
And Phil, the CEO, Phil Oliver, he said, we don't know. I can't say if which H's could be the captain. And, that definitely was of a flop card because none of the H's became the captain.
If you've already got a team or you're still looking for a team, let us know. 0586 861 003 for the